lot of political news to unravel here in New York. Early voting begins on October 26th.
That's right. What you may not realize is that in addition to casting your vote for president, there's also a ballot measure to help protect abortion rights here in New York State.
All right, Fox 5's Sharon Crowley joins us now with a closer look at Prop 1. Sharon.
And so many people haven't even heard of this, so it's important to help you understand. Prop 1, also known as the Equal Rights Amendment, aims to allow more groups to be protected from discrimination as well as reproductive rights. Now, if it passes, it would change part of the New York State Constitution, and Prop 1 right now has liberals and conservatives at odds about just how much things could change if this passes. What do you think about expanding the Equal Rights Amendment here in New York State on the ballot?
Definitely. I believe that we should.
You're for it?
Yes, I do think it should be expanded in New York.
I'm voting no on Prop 1.
Proposition 1, which essentially expands the Equal Rights Amendment in New York, is a question on the November ballot. Many voters may not be familiar with it, but it's fueling an emotional debate for and against.
As a parent, I object to it because I believe that our children deserve the opportunity to fully develop before they are allowed to make life-altering decisions.
It protects abortion in our state constitution. And second, it ensures that we can close loopholes in our state constitution so that no New Yorker can be discriminated against by the government.
The New York State Constitution already protects people from unequal treatment based on race, color, creed, and religion. What Prop 1 would do is expand the Equal Rights Amendment, protecting from discrimination against sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, pregnancy outcomes, and reproductive health care. Andrew Cherkowski is a trial lawyer and former federal prosecutor here in New York.
It would prevent discrimination against individuals in a wide array of different circumstances. It prevents laws from being passed that would discriminate against individuals under those categories, as well as protect against certain businesses or other entities discriminating against individuals under these new categories of protection.
Some parents feel their rights will be sidelined if Prop 1 passes, saying it could take away their right to make medical decisions for their kids.
I believe that as a parent, we should have the most authority and the loudest voice in the lives of our children.
Tamara Marcella is a mother who objects to Prop 1. She fears it may allow trans women more rights when it comes to competing in sports.
If passed, it will force biological men and boys to have to compete with biological girls and women. And so the safest of spaces for our most vulnerable will be lost.
Those in favor of Prop 1 say since overturning Roe v. Wade, women's reproductive rights are in jeopardy.
We thought 50 years of legal precedence would be the law of the land, and we were reminded that our rights are not as safe as we think they are.
Sasha Ahuja is with New Yorkers for Equal Rights. She supports Proposition 1.
Whether they're a person with a disability, whether they're LGBT, whether they're an older adult, their rights will be protected in our state's strongest founding document, our state constitution.
Cherkowski says the language in Prop 1 is so vague that if it does pass, it may open up a Pandora's box of legal challenges to it.
It's a complex change to the Constitution that may seem easier, straightforward on its face, but how exactly that would apply both to the laws in the books right now as well as the laws in the future is really anybody's guess.
And that's why critics have blasted the wording of the language of Prop 1 on the New York ballot. Many saying it's so confusing, so much so that voters may not really understand what they either are voting for or against, which is why you got to keep it right here on Fox 5 and
Yeah, you got to do the prep before you go in. It's a lot to sort of all digest in a moment or two. Right. All right. Thanks, Sharon.